Hello and welcome. My name is John. I'm the Channel Marketing Manager here at Wavelink. Today we're hosting a 45-minute session which is designed to give you a deeper understanding of the Spectralink Versity handset range, the features and benefits, and how to lead with an integrated solution. These are not just another handset. This is an enterprise solution suite. And just some housekeeping before we kick off. Any questions that you have, just please add to the chat. I'll collect, and at the conclusion of the presentation, we'll ask them. And in saying that, I'd like to introduce you to Nathan Gibb, Wavelink's Channel Enablement Manager and Wireless Guru. Over to you, Nathan.
Thanks, John. Morning, everyone. Those that don't know me, I'm sure most of you do. Thank you for joining. So Nathan Gibb, the Channel Enablement Manager for Wavelink and pre-sales in terms of Spectralink and most of our Wi-Fi portfolio as well. So today's session should hopefully be valuable to most of you in terms of getting a better understanding of the Spectralink Versity product range and where they're really going to fit in different markets going forward. So today, in terms of a bit of an agenda, a bit of a recap, who's Wavelink? If you're a new partner or an old partner or existing partner, you've forgotten who we are, what we do, a bit of a recap. Obviously a bit of a who is Spectralink as well for, again, some of those partners that might not be too familiar. A bit of a understanding of the interop capabilities of the handsets as well. The Versity family overview and comparison of the handsets themselves. Look at why Spectralink Versity smartphone as well. When there's a lot of other handsets out on the market, what differentiates this handset to those. We'll have a look at some use cases and some key verticals that could benefit from such a device. And then we'll have a look at some of the management tools, both with the Spectralink Gaming Essential SAM server, with a quick demo, and then some MDM, so your mobile device manager via SOTI mobile control as well, which we also distribute. And a bit of a recap of, obviously, other accreditation and learning that's available as well. So, again, as everyone will hopefully know, Wavelink as a boutique distributor has been around since 1998. Obviously, we've been distributing Spectralink in country for that entire time as well. So, long-standing history with Spectralink as a Wi-Fi handset vendor and have been a key partner of theirs throughout the years. Obviously, large depth of knowledge in terms of their product portfolio, but then also obviously with our sales, pre-sales and support team to assist all of our partners throughout Australia as well. Who is Spectralink? Those that don't know, I'm sure, and I hope most of you do already, Spectralink is one of the market leaders, if not the market leader, when it comes to a Wi-Fi voice solution in the enterprise space. They've been around for 30 years now, and in that time period, they've developed 8 handsets. So, 30 years, 8 handsets, not a lot of devices or device turnover, purely for the fact that the R&D that goes into the handsets is best of breed and fit for purpose for the markets that the handsets are being sold into. Obviously, looking at the range that we have on the screen here, a lot of you are potentially familiar with the 8400 series, which we've had for about 10 years now. It's been a very capable device in the field. And of course, now with the advent of smart devices, Spectralink have taken the leap into the smartphone market with the Versity range of handsets as well. Having a look at interoperability with Spectralink. Spectralink themselves, in terms of what I was touching on before, they really are experts in mobility. 30 years of history, research and development, and designing products that are fit for purpose to deliver crystal clear voice over a properly designed Wi-Fi network and a voice over Wi-Fi grade network as well. Team that with other key products and services like your voice quality optimization, which is a key technology and a proprietary technology of Spectralink, ensures that you're going to have a crystal clear voice environment. Having a look at integration and capabilities. Now with the capabilities of a smartphone device, integration with third party is really key. And Spectralink are a manufacturer and a vendor that take this to the forefront. They work directly with key partners around the world in healthcare, retail, manufacturing, nurse call, etc., to ensure that the integration with their handsets is seamless and has been tested thoroughly as well. So when positioning a Spectralink Versity handset, you've got the reassurance from the vendor in Spectralink, but then also vendors in other verticals with, again, patient monitoring, electronic medical records, secure messaging, nurse call, alarm, alerts, inventory management, etc., that those particular vendors as well have tested their products on the Spectralink Versities to make sure that integration is going to be seamless for the customer. And again, with a smartphone, it really gives you far greater options of what could be sold into a customer environment. It's not just a voice conversation anymore. It is an integrated solution. Again, to actually ensure that these handsets are going to work and work seamlessly, it all ties back to a properly designed voice over Wi-Fi network and call server integration as well. So Spectralink themselves, again, just like with the AIMS program, with the application integration programs, the View certification program, Spectralink work, again, directly with key vendors like Cisco, Fortinet, who we are a distributor of, Aruba, Extreme, there's a lot of others as well in that enterprise space. They work directly with those vendors to have the key vendors, again, Cisco's, Fortinet's, create the configuration guide for their Wi-Fi design, or Wi-Fi deployment, I should say. So then when a Spectralink Versity is put onto that network, the handsets themselves will work as seamlessly as possible and roam around the network with that crystal clear voice that we're all used to with Spectralink products. Tie that in with integration, again, with your call server integration, like Cisco Call Manager is a simple example. You have the best of breed capabilities when it comes to actually utilizing these handsets and deploying them in an enterprise space. Operational management with the handsets. So AMI Essentials SAM server, or the Spectralink AMI Essentials SAM server, it's quite a mouthful, it can easily be looked at as the management server. So any partners that are more familiar with the 8400 series, or might have in the past been utilizing a DECT solution from Spectralink as well, the AMI Essentials SAM server is effectively the management server, like what you would have used with an 8400 or a DECT handset, but it of course then allows the full detailed management of all the Spectralink applications that have actually been installed onto the handset. And again, we'll jump into a little quick demo and overview of that server later in this presentation as well. And then finally, of course, SpectraCare. SpectraCare is the service and support for the devices. Obviously, the handsets themselves, extremely durable, but people have a knack of trying to break things. So ensuring that you have good support, service and support for the device really comes back to SpectraCare as well. Obviously covers with breakdown coverage, software assurance, software updates, bug fixes, etc. So again, interoperability is fully taken care of when it comes to the Spectralink Versity portfolio. Speaking of the portfolio, again, we've got a recap here in terms of, the 8400 series. Again, a lot of partners are still utilizing that handset. We've seen quite a large shift over the last couple of years now that the Versity has come out, both in the 95, 96 series and now with, thankfully, the new 92 as well, which is almost a direct replacement for the 8400. These handsets are just opening up far greater conversations when it comes to selling into an organization. Most staff these days are, of course, used to a smartphone. So seeing a more traditional feature phone, like your 8400 series, yeah, we'd figure out how to make a call, but when it comes to messaging on an alphanumeric keypad, it's a little hard these days. We're just not used to it. We're used to those proper touch screens. And obviously the Spectralink Versity range has that in spades. So in terms of form factor and size, if you haven't seen these yet, you need to get your hands on them because they are fantastic. But the 92 series are similar to the original iPhone in terms of its form factor and size. The 95, 96 series is more like a traditional Samsung Galaxy in terms of its size and fitment. Obviously, durability and capability of the devices, though, is one of the things that make these handsets really stand out. In terms of that transitioning point as well, transitioning from, again, more of that traditional feature phone. Yes, the 8400 series, and obviously, competitors out there in the market, Cisco as an example, they have feature phones, but obviously, as I briefly touched on, the ability to have a touch screen is far greater than we potentially thought for ease of use for staff. Other key features that are built into the handsets as well, obviously with your camera capabilities, barcode scanning capabilities, all enable the handsets to be a far greater solution than your standard 8400 series of handset as well. Modern Android as well. So on the handsets, both handsets are now running Android 10. It is an enterprise Android version as well. So in terms of features and capabilities, they're a fully fledged Android device as well. Having a look at the why in terms of that Spectralink Versity conversation. Everything that is going to be listed here is basically what a consumer grade device can't do. So the handsets themselves have been designed, again, for an enterprise grade solution. So even the Wi-Fi chipsets that are in these handsets are actually designed and have enterprise grade Wi-Fi chipsets in them. So when teamed with a properly designed Wi-Fi network, so a voice over Wi-Fi solution, you are going to be ensured that the handsets will be able to roam seamlessly across the network because, of course, they are a phone. So voice is the major priority with these handsets. So if it's not designed correctly, it's not going to work properly. Consumer-grade handsets themselves, yes, they will connect to Wi-Fi, but they're not specifically designed to actually roam across a detailed network or a detailed Wi-Fi network. It's more a case of, connect to your general Wi-Fi and away you go. You'll just be able to utilize the data predominantly. Extremely ruggedized, built for purpose. So the handsets themselves actually are a fiberglass reinforced plastic shell with your Gorilla Glass fronts. So the Wavelink office in Melbourne, polished concrete floors. I scare a lot of people by dropping these handsets onto the polished concrete floors, purely for the fact that I know that they're designed to handle that. If you deliberately throw it with a lot of anger, yeah, you're going to break the handset. But in terms of that day-to-day drop, or off a bench, off a table, knocked out of your hand while standing, the handsets themselves are purpose-built and designed to handle that type of impact. Again, looking at your consumer-grade phone, what's the first thing that has to be purchased after you've purchased the phone? A protective case to ensure that we're not going to break that expensive device. 24/7 operation. The handsets, the 92 series, so the 9240 and 9253, have replaceable batteries. So the handset will power down, but they can be replaced and swapped out for a fresh, fully charged battery. The 9596 series of handset actually has a true hot swappable battery. So we could take the handset out if we were on a live call, let's say we're at a nursing home and we're on a live call with a family and the battery's about to run out. I could just go to the charging station, take the battery out of the back of the phone while still be on the live call, replace the fresh battery in it, and away you go. So again, true hot swappable in the 9596 series and a swappable or changeable battery in the 92 series. Again, giving an actual 24/7 operation capability to a smartphone. As we know, our consumer-grade phones, well, we can't even get the batteries out, and typical shelf life for a battery is around 12 to 18 months at best as well. Dedicated barcode scanner. purely opens up conversations for customers that utilize scanning, whether it's retail, manufacturing, any healthcare environments, aged care, etc. Dedicated barcode scanner built in is a very, very useful feature to have. The 92 series has a Honeywell barcode scanner. The 95, 96 actually has the Zebra barcode scanner. So both of them have industry-leading barcode scanners built into the 53 models of each variant as well. The handsets themselves are actually Android Enterprise certified. They're recommended to have certification. So Android themselves have actually recognized these handsets as being a true fit-for-purpose enterprise device, which in itself is a massive tick in terms of its capabilities when deployed in that type of environment as well. Controlled software updates. So Spectralink themselves work to develop the back-end software. Again, it's based and is an enterprise Android version, but they control the software updates. So the updates for that software is downloaded directly from Spectralink support site, and that way the software updates themselves are controlled. You won't have any instances of staff getting a handset and go, oh, cool, there's an update available. They update a device, and then, of course, it breaks something on the network. So the controlled software updates are a great advantage there. One of the major ones, and one of the huge differentiators here, I really should put this at the top, chemical cleaning and infection control. In our new and unfortunate world of COVID, infection control has come to the forefront of everyone's mind and capability. Obviously, I'm based in Melbourne, so we, of course, had very harsh lockdowns last year, and we saw all of the testing going on at the testing centres for COVID. One of the things that I picked up on, though, was the fact that the staff that were doing the testing, although doing an amazing job, were all using, a lot of the time, you could see them utilising an iPad. They can't be properly infection controlled with hospital-grade cleaners. The plastics and materials actually on the device aren't designed for the potentially harsh chemicals to be rubbed over them. Again, the Spectralink Versity itself, fit for purpose and actually designed with hospital-grade chemical cleaners in mind and can be properly infection controlled. So again, it's actually a conversation starter now with a customer. What's your current fleet of handsets? Okay, cool. Well, what's the infection control capability of those? Oh, you can't? Okay, well, here's the Spectralink Versity. It's fully certified. So again, great advantage. Dedicated duress for staff safety. The handsets themselves on the top of each handset has a dedicated duress button. So tie that in with messaging, alerting, alarming, locationing engines, etc. applications. You could then have dedicated and sophisticated staff duress capabilities in a customer environment or in a workplace environment. Now, again, looking at healthcare is a perfect example of requirements for duress and staff safety, and having a dedicated duress button cuts down on the potential time to raise a duress event. If all you have to do is press a button or double press or a press and hold of a single button that's easily identifiable, that's a hell of a lot safer and quicker for a staff member that could be in an ominous event that they didn't want to be. Full range of accessories, which we will touch on. I'll be running you all through the accessories that are available for the handsets coming up, and there's a different range of accessories for both the 92 series and the 95, 96 series as well. And then, might be surprising to some, they actually have a lower total cost of ownership. So Spectralink themselves have a calculator to run through the TCO on a handset compared to a consumer-grade device. Based on all factors over an 18-month ownership, the Spectralink Versity handsets actually come out on top. And of course, one of the major factors is the replaceable battery. You don't need to, sorry, I've got a handset going off next to me. You don't need to actually replace the handset because your battery's died. You can just replace the battery. So the handsets themselves have been designed in terms of their hardware capabilities to really last at a customer environment far beyond that typical 18-month refresh cycle itself, which is fantastic. And of course, designed for fleet and shift working businesses. Again, comes back to that battery capability. Being able to grab a new battery and put it into your handset and continue working, or again, shift change. New staff member comes in, grabs a handset, swaps out for a fresh battery, and away they go. So again, 24/7 operation capabilities with the Spectralink Versity. In terms of some of those use cases, aged care is a great one. Right now, we've sold quite a few large opportunities into the hospital environments, so healthcare environments. So ACT Health have purchased 2,500 Spectralink Versities. We've got the Royal Children's here in Melbourne and a lot of other hospitals in Melbourne that have either purchased or are trialling as well. We're now currently working with quite a few aged care facilities around Australia doing POCs and integration. And of course, they absolutely love the capabilities and business efficiencies that these handsets are actually capable of bringing to their environment as well. So when it comes to use cases and capabilities for aged care, what's the conversation point? Well, obviously, voice is always going to be the starting point, but it doesn't stop there. Obviously, we can then look at integration with nurse call vendors. Again, we've been working closely with nurse call vendors here in Australia, a lot of the key vendors, to ensure interoperability and compatibility with these devices and their nurse call systems. Barcode scanning devices, obviously through patient tag scanning, medical scan, medicines, scanning them in and out of fridges, etc. Patient transfers. You could do real-time locationing of patients or residents if they a dementia patient or something along those lines. Again, highly capable device. And of course, coming back to that point previously as well, infection control. We know that we had quite a lot of issues with our nursing homes in terms of infection control last year as well. So having that ability is going to certainly streamline their capabilities. Hospitality, point of sale. Obviously, the handsets themselves have NFC built in, so you could utilize an NFC credit card and do point of sale right there and then for a customer. Stock control, the ability to do stock control just on the devices as well, again with the built-in barcode scanner. Push-to-talk capabilities, so effectively the walkie-talkie functionality that's built into the handsets and works over the Wi-Fi network. Set up your teams of staff, for cleaning staff is a great example. In a hotel, you could have them communicate with each other just over the push-to-talk functionality instead of having to call each other just to check on how everything's going. Security and access control, tied in with applications for your building management systems, security, alarms, access control, CCTV footage, etc. And of course, the staff safety and duress capabilities as well. Retail, again, crystal clear voice capabilities, and I've already touched on, voice is the main feature in terms of what they're designed for, but then you can just layer on so much because they are a application-based smartphone as well. But think of a loud floor in, let's say, JB Hi-Fi on a crazy Sunday or something like that, having the staff being able to make a call and have it cut out all of the background noise will give them a lot greater capability. Again, point of sale capabilities in a retail environment. Stock control and scanning of stock as well. Click and collect capabilities. Again, durability, being able to drop the device and not have to worry about it. And again, push-to-talk capabilities. Warehousing and manufacturing. warehousing and manufacturing, similar things again, guys. Yeah, stock control, durability, crystal clear voice when roaming, warehousing and manufacturing, obviously very large sites, always tricky to design a good quality voice over Wi-Fi solution for them. I should know, I design Wi-Fi networks, and it's always tricky. So these would be very capable in those types of environments as well, again with the durability of the handset in those harsh environments. So based on the use cases, we'll jump into the accessories now as well. And it'll give you a bit of a snapshot of the capabilities and options that you've got with the different flavors of handset, or the 92 series and the 95, 96. So in terms of charging, we have the 92 series multi-base charger, and then we also have a desktop battery charger as well. So again, based on the customer requirement and solution that they require, we could utilize obviously a 6-bay handset charger and or another 6-bay battery charger as well. So you could have 6 handsets with a battery charging in them, and then some spare batteries ready to go. We also then have the 92 series desktop dual charger, so it charges a handset with a battery in it and a spare battery as well. So again, perfect for a quick changeover of the battery, and away you go. The standard desktop charger itself, obviously the replaceable batteries and a lanyard. This is one of the cool ones, the 92 series scanner trigger holster. So slot the handset in, and then it utilizes that little trigger holster to quickly and efficiently enable staff to do stock control or whatever they need to do with the barcode scanner on the device. So again, really cool little option that they came out with. Belt clip and a fabric holster. Now, in terms of those, the belt clip, very useful. The holster, still useful, but again, the durability of the handset sort of almost negates the requirement for the fabric holster. The belt clip, though, is definitely a useful option. So you've got the ease and simplicity of just clipping it on and off. But again, if in terms of durability, they don't specifically need any form of holster to protect the device. They are built for purpose. On to the 95, 96 series accessories. So, multi-base charger. This itself effectively comes blank, and then you fit it out however you like. You fit it out with the desktop battery charger and or the desktop dual charger. The dual charger will take a phone and a battery. So phone charging its battery with a spare, and then of course the desktop battery charger will charge 2 batteries. So again, based on the customer requirement and how many batteries or handsets they want to charge simultaneously, this can be fitted out as per their requirements. So it really gives the customer great options in terms of facilitating their charging requirements and their business use cases as well. Standard lithium-ion battery, USB charger, and of course the belt clip. Again, belt clip, very useful to be able to clip on and off very quickly and give you that capability. So next, management of the devices. So AMI Essentials SAM server, it's always a mouthful. So AMI Essentials, and then it's the Spectralink Application Manager, which equals SAM. So the Spectralink Application Manager, as I briefly touched on earlier, could easily just be looked at as the simple management server for these Versity devices to manage the applications that are installed and do the configuration of those Spectralink applications. But then you've also got the capabilities, important capabilities, of doing your dedicated software updates, logging, troubleshooting, etc. on there as well. So I'm just going to quickly jump into SAM just to have a quick overview and a look for you guys, for those that haven't seen it. So let me just bring that up on the screen. So if we're looking at this, and this is the first time we've seen it, don't worry. We can certainly look at arranging some one-on-one sessions later if you need to and want to know more information about what it is and how it works. But basically, as we can see here, this is the management console. I've got my devices listed here. I can see which handsets are on or off. So I've got 4 handsets online at the moment. I've specifically turned those particular ones on. But from a management standpoint, it just gives you a quick snapshot of a lot of relevant detail on the handsets themselves. If we have a look at the applications, these applications listed here are actually all the applications that have been installed or have been created by Spectralink and then have actually been installed onto the handsets as well, in terms of managing and facilitating their key capabilities, like your push-to-talk functionality, or the safe features, which is your man down, tilt, emergency, duress functionality, etc. Again, this system updater, custom web APIs, BizPhone for making phone calls, battery life monitor, etc. You've also got the capability of managing the handsets and the deployment in terms of groups within a business organization, and tailoring the customized configuration to that group as well. Obviously, some organizational units will have a different configuration and requirement to others, so it gives you the ability to do different levels of configuration. Licensing itself for SAM is on a per handset basis. So obviously, if you've got 500 handsets, you would have 500 licenses for the SAM server as well. The customer would require those 500 licenses to manage all of those devices. One of the other great little features as well is simply being able to copy a configuration. So if there was a faulty handset and it was RMA'd, you could select a particular handset and swap out the configuration with a new handset and have the replacement up and running very quickly. So again, guys, this is super high level, very quick view, but yeah, again, anyone that needs and wants more information, we can certainly look at doing a bit more of a deep dive into the SAM management console. So on top of Spectralink AMI Essential SAM server, you'd also then look at, or the customer would then be looking at a mobile device manager to actually then manage the handset on a more granular level in terms of how it's actually deployed on their site, and effectively ensuring that the device itself is a work-focused device. So setting up what applications are allowed on the device, what use cases and abilities staff can get to on the device, what features or functionalities they're allowed to play with on the handset, etc. And really tailor the solution to, again, the customer's requirements. So again, talking about it doesn't really show much. I'm going to jump into SOTI Mover Control and just give you a quick demo of that as well. Again, anyone that wants more information, I'm sure you will. We can certainly set up another session for a bit more of a dedicated look. So looking at this, again, if you haven't seen it, don't stress. We can certainly do some one-on-ones. This is just your standard device view. And again, I'm looking at my fleet of Versity training devices here. I've got 4 handsets online at the moment. What's set up in the back end is a profile, or multiple profiles, I should say, and some rules. So that way, any handset that's actually enrolled onto the particular network for the customer effectively points to SOTI Mover Control's cloud, and then it pulls down its rules, its profiles, its configurations, so that the handset itself comes on and is utilized in the work-focused operation that the customer specified. What do I mean by that? If I click on one of these handsets here in my device group here, I can see obviously a hell of a lot of detail about the handset, which is excellent from an administrative standpoint and troubleshooting, etc. But one of the really cool features and capabilities here is I've got this remote control function. So if I jump on and have a look at this handset with remote control, yep, cool. Handsets come online. If I swipe and unlock that handset, it doesn't look like a regular handset. It's what's known as lockdown mode. So the handset itself, via what's been configured in the back end of SOTI under the profiles, and I'll just jump back in here. I've got in here a lockdown profile for my Versity training. Effectively what that's doing is locking the device down so I can't get to all of the general operations on the handset. I'm a user and I want to be disruptive, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi and I'm going to break things as much as possible, or factory reset the handset, which of course is not going to be a good thing. The lockdown feature gives you the capability, or gives the administrator and the business capability of identifying those key applications that they're going to utilize on their site. So let's say, it's an aged care facility. So again, it might be a biz phone for voice, or if it's tied in with, Cisco Call Manager, or if they're utilizing Microsoft Teams, you could authorize that application. Then, the nurse call vendor, they could have the application here as well. The safe functionality for duress, etc. You're basically starting that conversation with the customer to identify those key applications of what's going to then be put onto the lockdown mode. So this itself is all the users can see. So again, it takes the handset, although fully capable of doing whatever you like, back to a work-focused device itself. So if I click on any of these applications, of course, it's going to open the app, but that's all it will do. If I go home, it's going to go back to the standard device. As an administrator, I can get out of this. And if we go back, in the back end, the handset works as normal. So again, just shows you some of the power and capability that you have in terms of conversations with the customer around what they actually are wanting to utilize a smart device for, to again improve business efficiencies and capabilities for their staff, and then deploying it with a mobile device manager gives you the overarching capability of locking the device down, again, to be a work-focused device with only the specified applications allowed to the end users. So in terms of accreditation and other training, so again, guys, I am the Channel Enablement Manager. I handle all aspects of Spectralink training in terms of sales training or product training itself, technical training for any of our partners, technicians, in terms of both online and face-to-face training. Obviously, this is a service that we can provide to our partners. But in terms of other capabilities and what Spectralink has to offer, specifically via their own portal, on the partner portal itself, there is a hell of a lot of information based around, again, content, product bulletins, troubleshooting guides, etc. But otherwise, outside of that, you can certainly reach out to your channel partner, channel manager, or myself in terms of skilling up your team both on that sales or technical side of the Spectralink divide to get a really good understanding of the Spectralink Versity range and where they fit in the market. So guys, quick recap. Obviously, built for purpose. There's not much really out there quite like the Spectralink Versity in terms of its capability and sales conversations that it can open up with a customer. It shouldn't be looked at as a voice sale or you're just moving a handset. That could be where the conversation starts, but it then should move into more of a holistic solution and integrating capabilities. Again, the use cases around understanding what the business could benefit from utilizing a smart device in their environment, and then adding on the applications on top of that, other integrations, again, nurse call, barcode scanning, the durability, the infection control capabilities of the handset, hot swappable battery in the 95, 96, replaceables in the 92, etc. So again, fit for purpose, enterprise grade handsets that are going to be hopefully flooding the market soon. So thank you guys. We'll jump over to questions.
Hey, thanks for that, Nathan. One of the questions was, what are the next steps, which you have addressed. So I'll just do a bit of a recap on that. You mentioned that we will be offering one-to-one sessions and to reach out to your channel manager post this, but we'll also be sending just a bit of a thank you email with some more information post this conversation as well. So you'll have all the right details on how to reach out and set those one-to-one appointments with us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and same thing, guys. As you'd know, we're always here to help. So yeah, it's either a case of speak to your relevant channel manager, or feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. I'm always available in terms of, again, going over this content in a bit more detail. Obviously, as I said, I sort of scratched the surface with the management platforms, both with AMI Essential SAM server and then your mobile device management. But we can have a bit more of a deep dive to understand the value that brings to the customer as well. And yeah, again, it's the handsets can be positioned anywhere. It's just asking the right questions of the customer and understanding their pain points and what a smart device like the Versity could really, what value it will bring to their environment.
Thanks for that, Nathan. Got another two for you just before we conclude.
Yep.
Hi team. If you were running SODI Mobi control, do you still need SAM? Question.
Look, it is a great question actually. It both do things differently. So the SODI Mobi control gives you those capabilities of really locking the device down, setting up the profiles and security restrictions on the handset, so staff can't stuff with the device effectively. The AMI Essential SAM server gives you the overarching management of all things to do with the handset's Spectralink applications, gives you the key capability of the software updates for the device, troubleshooting and logging of the device as well. So yeah, there is a differentiator there. So generally when we are positioning it, we do actually position both. The Spectralink Application Manager to manage all of the software side of things in terms of the Spectralink applications, again, software updates, logging, troubleshooting, etc. And then the Mobile Device Manager for that really focused fleet management and locking down of the device.
Thanks. Thank you for that. The last question I've got here is just a bit of confirmation on the process for the draw. So we had a couple of prizes that we offered, a headset and the wireless speaker. So obviously just the important questions.
You're just here for the prizes, are you?
The important questions need to be answered. Yes. So thank you to whoever asked that one. And what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a random draw at the conclusion of this and reaching out to that person individually. So thank you for that question. And just to conclude, there was two prizes that were offered. There was the wireless speaker and the headset.
Awesome.
But that's all the questions that I see, Nathan. I'll leave it open for maybe another minute. Does anyone have anything else that they'd like to raise just before we conclude? Just add it into the question section in the chat. No, I think you've addressed everything, Nathan. What we'll do is, if any more questions come through, I'll reach out to you, or we can communicate to the attendees of what that was and our response.
Yep, fantastic, guys. Hopefully, as well, obviously now with COVID restrictions pretty well sorted around Australia, we'll be trying to host more of these sessions live as well. Get face to face, let everyone play with their handsets, and have a bit more fun with these sessions as well. So yeah, keep your eye and finger on the pulse in terms of what Wavelink's got coming out in the future.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you everyone for joining. As stated earlier, we will be sending out some communications post this, just with a little bit more information. Probably will include a survey just to capture your feedback, and that will have some more information of how to set those one-to-ones. But until next time, thank you for joining, and we'll see you at our next InfoByte session, which we'll distribute in the coming weeks.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks. See ya.